Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, brothers, and sisters. Welcome back to the third installment of the Clio Cup here at Simsport Racing International. My name's Chris Buxton. I'll be one of your commentators throughout this evening's escapades around the Scottish countryside. Joining me in the commentary box and in charge of the stream tonight is Adam Bent.
Good evening, Chris. How are you?
Excited. Very, very excited for this. Now, for those unfamiliar with where on earth we are, don't blame you, it's a fictitious track. It's Bannochbrae that surfaced originally in Project Cars 1 and has been ported over here to Assetto Corsa for us to enjoy in the Clio Cups. This is a track I absolutely adore. It looks absolutely stunning and very much look forward to heading around the Highlands in our Clio Cup. 19 drivers are with us this time around. And, top of the practice times at the moment is actually a name I'm slightly less familiar with. Apologies, I was unable to make last time out, so I was not feeling very well. It's Erwin Androvic that is at the top of the tree. We're just waiting for championship leader Max Mars to bring his car back to the pit lane. The gorgeous blue number 58. As he'll come over the line, he's probably going to aggravate the top of the times. Well, not quite. He was fourth. So we'll see who comes out where. Qualifying now about to begin. Now, for those unfamiliar with how this series goes, we have two races tonight. We have got the first race, which is the grid of which is dictated by a 20-minute qualifying session. And then from that, we have a 20-minute absolute blast around this tight, twisty, technical, and sometimes terrifying Bannochbrae circuit. Then for race number 2, it's the top 10 are reversed from the results of race number 1. So the grid for race 2 is formed from the results of race 1, except for the top 10, which are reversed. Now, Adam, you and I have both raced here. What are your thoughts towards the fictitious Scottish Highlands?
Mine are less favourable than yours, I'll tell you that much. It's a love-hate relationship with this track, definitely.
Yeah.
There are moments where you absolutely adore this track. I remember myself and you have raced here in Clios on Project Cars 2. And that was a very interesting series, to say the least. But no, it's a great circuit, and we're very lucky to have it on this game.
Yeah, and it's, I must say, other than the fact that it actually says Project Cars and WMD staring at you, and that's the drone staring at the sky. It looks really, it's been so well ported. I applaud those that have brought it over. So let's have a look at who. Oh, yeah, I dare say. I mean, it's a track of this level of detail have done so well. Oops, that's someone with a very smoky.
I think that was Richardson.
Oh dear, Andrew Richardson having a bit of a spin. Well, he's all right. The car's at least the correct shape at the moment. But there we go. 19 drivers. It does say 20. Of course, Adam is one of them. And as far as I know, Adam is not planning on heading out there and doing some laps, although I would absolutely love to go out there and do some laps. But duty calls, that's never what you want to see. It's just a big cloud of smoke coming through Farm Curb. Now, I will be using some corner names, much to Adam's dismay, and those are, because it's a fictitious track, I've completely made up what the corner names are. How long I stick with that for kind of remains to be seen, as we see Andrew Richardson nailed to the back of the number 95 car. That is, I can't remember the numbers. That is Androvic. There's Erwin Androvic, who was top of the practice session. A bit of a questionable livery behind. Well, that's just because I'm not a fan of pink. It's pink, Adam, not light red.
That's
pink.
A different car.
I know that's a different car.
I'm trying to figure out what number that was. I caught a glimpse of it, but I'm assuming it's one of our new entries. So we've had 3 new entries for this round. 4 new entries, I think that is. We've got obviously Androvic, Ivanovic, Pavasic, as the game wants to. Oh, don't start this now.
Oh no,
not again. Oh, this could
be
a server thing. No, I think that may have been server.
Oh, it's alive.
I think that may have been more of a server than the computer.
Hopefully we won't have that issue again where you have to continually. What was it? It was a mod that kept failing.
No, so it turned out it was my computer just gave up.
Oh.
The computer just gave up. So yeah, as I was saying, we've got 4 new drivers here, I believe. Adrovic, Vujovic, Pasovic. In fact, 5 there. 4 of which are all taking up 5th to 8th.
Yeah,
as Toskovic goes back to the car, to the pit lane. But yeah, a fair few new drivers here for the series this weekend. As you can see, Toskovic coming back out. So a few of the drivers definitely getting to grips with the walls here at Bannochbrae.
And the walls, as you can quite clearly see, are very close.
We didn't have any issues during the practice,
No.
I'll tell you that now.
No, we didn't at all. The practice was absolutely smooth, but unfortunately, that is out of our control. The server is struggling a bit more. Oh, that wall there has claimed many a lap. So that's obviously the first turn. We can follow Andrew through the lap then. So we're now coming through what I call every time I try and name the corners, they end up changing anyway. So we may as well just stick with corner numbers. That at least we're consistent with. This is turns 2 and 3 as he's caught the wall.
So
yeah, that's going to slow him down
there slightly. But Toby Owen at the top of the timesheet, he'll just want to stop the count there.
Yeah. And there is Toby Owen in that beautiful Grid Finder S number 42. It's an absolutely stunning car, and the Enduro car Ford KA that they're going to be racing in looks so gorgeous. And there he is, being hounded by someone.
That is Aaron Large in the number 11.
Who I have duelled with. Well, I've raced against Toby and against Aaron here. So this is one of the few times I've actually raced against our competitors on a circuit that we're going to be talking about. Yeah, Aaron's no slouch.
No, he is definitely not.
I always remember Aaron in the banana split BMW, as I always used to call it, the yellow and white colour scheme on the BMW, the VTCC.
Yeah.
Good times. Good times.
Both of these guys have cut their teeth in real racing. I believe Aaron has raced a Mazda MX-5 Mark II. I remember him infamously telling us about a time he went to Thruxton and someone told him a corner was flat out, and he found it wasn't flat out by going across half the fields. So obviously, and as you mentioned, Toby cutting his teeth this year in Enduro car with a lot of histories in MX-5s. And I think next year possibly mini challenge, if I remember rightly.
I believe you're right. Yes. So a fair amount of racing available to the father of the VTCC, and he's now part of the Grid Finder organisation. I think he still has some involvement here at SSRI, but he is very much representing the Grid Finder group.
That is brave.
There we go.
As they throw it over. So obviously, those that have played this game, obviously this track and project cars know about the jump. So for anybody this is their first time driving around here, it will definitely catch a few drivers out, because any car, no matter how fast, no matter how much downforce, will lift off there. I remember taking Formula X around here and just flying for a good almost 100 feet.
With the wall awaiting you with open arms, I would dare say. A few more times on the board. Aaron Large has now taken the top of the timings. Toby Owen now demoted to second. You're going to have to help me here. Who's that in third?
That is Adrovic.
Oh, Adrovic literally just taken that one. Adrovic just taken that one. Oh, that's not a bad colour scheme. The
that
blue,
is a very nice one.
Yellow and black one we just had. Not a bad one here. The dark blue, as he's chasing off after somebody. Didn't quite see. As they're coming into that it's really daunting coming through here because the walls are really high. Oh no! The amount of time, the amount of times. Oh, Steve Hilton up into third position now. The amount of times I've had a car sideways there, I got absolutely butchered on one race at that very point, where just the way that the track pinches together and you've got a lot of cars trying to ferret through a really narrow pass. Yeah, death does tend to ensue. Sebring Stoll has got his name on the board. Up third position, Mark Pimlott. Good effort there, sir. Nicely done. Ivan help me here. Pavicevic.
Yeah, I believe so. Again, obviously, new names. It's gonna take at least this round to learn them, but for next round, it will definitely. That is interesting. That should not be coming up. God damn it, Nick. Ironically, that's a real life race driver just popping up on the stream, just Facebook notifications. I have no idea where they're on. We'll have to sort that afterwards. That is Steve Hilton.
That was the subway car.
That was
Pavicevic is how I think that.
Try saying that 10 times fast, but
no.
Yeah, another guy here, Bako Vujovic, I believe.
Yep.
The one that you said you don't like, I quite like this livery. I think it looks quite cool.
Well, I mean, in touch with the feminine side, I suppose. Oh,
There's the number one Capital One car there, just in front. That is another new driver, Petar Banishevich.
Bannichevich.
That might be it.
I'm assuming this is how they said. I really
yeah,
hope
again,
I'm getting it right.
yeah. Obviously, guys, if you're watching back the stream later, we apologise, and you'll have to send us a message as to how to pronounce your names correctly.
Now, this section here, I've always called it Cascades. As you're coming from this left-hander, you're coming really downhill, and then back over the river again. I've always called that Cascades. Oh, as Toskovich has put his name to the top of the board, 2:44.92. It's a long lap here, so you cannot hang around. You can't.
And Aaron Large goes.
Aaron. Well, he wasn't prepared to let that one slide as he's regained the top spots. Andrew Richardson now up into third. Very nicely done. So yeah, these are long lap here in these Clios. Obviously, a long lap no matter what you chuck around it. But obviously, the lap length doesn't change depending on the car. The time obviously does. The lap distance obviously doesn't. Yes, learn physics here, Chris. As we see Jovan Toskovich over the bridge heading down towards Farm Curve. You generally have some farm animals on the inside line, hence why it's so called. Oh, that's again a lot of smoke kicking up there. And again, if you take that a little bit wrong, there's a kind of indentation in the barrier that will absolutely detonate your car if you go into that. Whoops, Stu Neal's gone for a wander somewhere, as has Ben Morlam. Oh, that's a lot of smoke. It's always very unnerving when that's all you can see, and because the track is so narrow, that you just either have to gun it and hope that the issue has cleared itself by the time you get there, or you have to hard on the brakes. And because the lap is so long, it takes such a long time to rebuild that momentum and get what will only be a few time laps in.
Absolutely. Well, again, obviously, the interesting thing about this game is that you set your settings. So I do have my smoke settings turned a little bit higher to give that a bit more authenticity. Obviously, a car that's going to switch out on itself will generate a bit more smoke. So these guys may have that deliberately turn their smoke settings down just to make life easier into accidents. But yeah, you can see that Sibrin is currently sat P10. Max Mass is actually down in 16th.
That is pink, not that one. Oh, you moved away.
We're not arguing about this now on stream. I want to I completely forget. I did want to say hello to Brendan Van Eden. That is a name I've not heard in a long time. And yeah, I hope you're keeping well, buddy. Yeah, hopefully you can come back and race us at some point.
Yes, we'll very happily have. So yeah, that's a name that was obscenely fast, but not always very lucky.
No.
Sometimes lag would play its part, but Brendan, dear Lord, did he have some pace. Raced against him on a few online excursions as well. Good to see you, Brendan. Always welcome around here. So Max Mars is starting to set this purple sectors, but we've seen quicker than that from others. So could be that Max is struggling a bit. Oh, Toskovich back up to the top and actually knocks that purple sector away from Max Mars. Great time there from Toskovich. Very nicely done.
Yeah, these guys are definitely picking up pace now. There's only one person without a lap time, well, an official lap time. Obviously, it's quite hard to set a lap time around this track with it being so narrow. However, obviously, with time, these guys are definitely going to improve. Definitely going to get quicker. You can see Max Mars now pushing as hard as he can to get close to that time.
Yep, absolutely. Coming through the left-hander now, heading towards the town centre. That really narrow left-right section. You just have to kind of straight line and hope you get it right. Because if you get it wrong, oh, it's death. You will not recover from it. In these cars, it's not so difficult to do. Of course, you're slightly lower pace and they're quite a small car. But you take something like a GT car through that, and you grimace because you think you're clipping the walls with your wing mirrors. It's very, very tight indeed. Just one driver, as Adam says, without time. That is Banishevich, yet to get a time on the board as we see Max then coming down through Cascades over the river into the jump. Let's see how he does. As the next camera will highlight how much airborne time he gets. That's quite a fair amount of airborne time, and it's because you're up in the air and you've got a barrier that's actually coming right towards you at the time. It's a bit of tense moments when you come back down.
It is, absolutely. It's scary. I think he's just lost a couple tenths there, running a bit wide in the last turn. You can see that wasn't really the ideal line. You could hear him off the throttle. So we'll see where he ends up. It won't be too far from the top. There you go, P4. But no, that's definitely lost a lot of time there.
2:41 for Max Marstein, our championship leader. He's won all 4 races so far. Might this be where his dominance ends? We will see. There's a Toskovic still at the top of the tree. Oh, someone's gone for a wander. Who was that who went for a wander?
That was Mr. Pimblott. That's a big crash there.
Oh, my word. Wow. Vujovic was brave. He just kept his foot absolutely nailed and flew through the smoke. Like you say, because it could be that we see a lot more smoke than the drivers, as Adam was explaining. The drivers may have run a lower smoke setting, and you really wouldn't blame them either, considering you know, if you beeline into someone's door, then that's just going to send them flying, and your race done. Absolutely, absolutely. And with it being again only a 20-minute race, they haven't got time to recover a mistake of that kind of magnitude. As we now come down through Cascades and over the river once again for Barko Vujovic in 8th position at the moment.
Purple sector too, so it's good time so far.
It's not looking too bad, even though he would have probably been put off. Yeah, it was the beginning of sector 3 where that very smoky moment happened. Into the double right-hander heading towards the area I always call the trap, because I've been many laps into that gate there. I glare at you menacingly as Ervin Adrovic has just slotted back into 6th position. What can Vujovic do? There's a lot of Oviches. We mentioned, we mused before the stream began. And that's 6th. That's not bad whatsoever. 2:41.321 for Barko Vujovic. Nicely done. Chris Fisher is just slotted into 15th position. Still no time for Bannochbrae. Again, apologies. Bannochbrae, indeed. There is Chris Fisher. We saw you have a bit of a smoky moment, didn't we? In your, he's got the Subway livery on, hasn't he?
No, Fisher Motorsport Cup.
Oh, it's the.
I believe that is. Pimblott and I want to say Morland.
I'll take your word for that one. So we see Chris Fisher making his merry way over the first bridge, heading down towards Farm Curve. Over to the left-hand side. Your braking point is, depending on what you're driving, is really dependent on at what point, either before or after that drop, you see where the bridge ends.
Yeah.
And sometimes you want to brake just before it, but then you lock up because your front wheels become airborne. So it's really awkward. In these things, it's not so bad. You can just do a bit of cadence braking. As Max Masters has gone up to 3rd position now, still half a second off the top spot, but considering it's a 2:40 lap, that's pretty damn close. Let's be honest, as Chris nearly brushes the wall over there at the lighthouse turn. Now coming up the hill, you can catch a bit of air here. These cars probably won't do it to a great degree, but some of the real quick stuff can get a bit of air airborne there. I've actually had a car just pitch its nose up into the air and land on its tail.
Oh, 2 wheels there. That was yeah, that is my favourite. Well, I call it the commitment corner because it very much varies as to how you just enter, how much commitment you take into it as to the result.
The outcome, yeah.
There's definitely cars that you can take it flat in. I don't think this is one of them. Yeah, Justin, I've just seen your message in chat as well. You know, sorry to not see you here today. Hopefully, we will see you at the following rounds.
That was the well-beloved that has checked up on us.
It is.
Yeah, it's a shame that we're not seeing you trackside, Justin, but come back soon. Obviously, you're always welcome. Here's Alistair Pollock. Trying to get, he's got a time on the board, currently 17th, but some improvements there to find as Aaron Large is,
he's gone pole.
Alistair!
Aaron Large on pole as Alistair goes into the
trap. Yeah, I think you actually managed to avoid it. The trap is actually the gate, because if you hit the gate, you then hit the post, and you just detonate your car and come to a complete stop. Does Alistair improve?
No, I didn't. I wouldn't have thought so with jumping into that gate there. It's a small death sentence there, I think. But as Alistair seems to, I think he's picked up a little bit of damage there. You can see that the car's not really settled in the way that I'd want to drive it, at least anyway.
Ivanovic up to 11th for the 2:42.2. I can get that sentence out correctly. Don't ask me to say that one repeatedly quickly, because I won't. But yeah, as Adam mentioned, Aaron Large up to the top of the tree by a tenth and a bit over Toskovic. Very nicely done indeed. Still following Alistair through his lap in the number 21 car. Over the bridge, heading towards Farm Curve. And now Bannochbrae has got a time on the board at the 2:51.0. Some people are kind of very, very cautious of this circuit. Again, it's a path less trodden, isn't it? Because it's a fictitious track. It's one of these circuits that isn't ingrained in your racing DNA. So some people are a bit more cautious about learning it. Stu Neal is into 7th at the 2:41 on the board. So yeah, these times are still very, very close. So new time for Max Master remains in 3rd at the 2:40.6, only 3/10 off the top spot. Half a second between himself and Tom O'Farrell. 4 thousandths between Tom and Richardson. Over a 2-minute 40 lap just to be 4 thousandths apart. That's incredible.
It is very good driving. Again, obviously, Tom is the closest challenger at the moment to Max. So Max needs to maximise his points here. And obviously, Tom needs to start taking points away from Max if he wants any chance of a championship at a later date. So obviously, Tom, these rounds have a little, more importance to him for his championship hunt as he goes then goes 3rd. As I say that,
nice.
now exactly a 10th ahead. So he must have heard me say that. Stu Neal's gone off somewhere. Let's see if we can find him on the track. There he is. He was. I think that was into the village. So
yeah, your eyesight was better than mine. I didn't quite have. Pavicevic, a 2:39 on the board. 2.5 tenths quicker than Aaron Lard. What a time!
That's a mad time. And Toskovic 3rd as well. So Tom O'Farrell and Max Mass will be continuing their fight by the looks of it in the midfield at this rate. So,
wow!
Yeah, that's great to see.
How often can you say that? Wow! That's incredible. I mean, believe me, having driven Clios, albeit not in AC, but certainly driven Clios on this track, I can tell you that's a stonking time. That is absolutely superb. Brilliant stuff there from Pavicevic at the top of the tree as he now comes through far in that lovely bumblebee-flavoured Dunlop emblazoned. And he's purple again. He's finding more time. Pedro Ivanovic is slotted into 7th with a 2:41.042. So not even a 10th behind Andrew Richardson. Chris Fisher has found some more time. He's into 13th place. So people still finding more time out there. Being that the lap is so long, obviously there's so many opportunities and there's a lot of corners here as well to lose time. But to kind of hook up that perfect lap is, in my opinion, absolutely brilliant. The checker flag is out. So Ivanovic can do no more. Pimlott can do no more. Bunton can do no more. And of course, Adam Bent has got plenty more to do, but not on the track. Oh,
that's got to be a lap over, I think.
Wow, I mean, he's carrying on, or is it? No, he's backed out of that one. That was so close. And the reason why people are being caught out there is we now see Aaron Lard do exactly the same thing. That apex is really, really blind. And
it's an off-camber as well. It's off-camber as well.
It's off-camber and downhill. So all that barrier becomes almost magnetic as we now see Toskovic going.
Oh, that was a huge bit of contact there. Tom O'Farrell doesn't look he'll improve here. Max Mass can do no more. So Tom O'Farrell starting P4 ahead of Max Mass. This is the first time Max Mass hasn't got a pole. But this is the first time he's not had the pole position. And track position is quite important here. As we've mentioned, that track is not very wide, even in these cars. It's Richardson having a lot of smoky moments. I think that's just the game slightly having a small bug there. But, I mean, after the Prague race today, there was a few...
true enough. Silverstone will never be this. It was Silverstone, wasn't it?
It was Silverstone today, yeah.
I didn't see it, unfortunately, but I can imagine there was lots of thrills and spills going on there for Praga and Jimmy.
Always.
Yeah, of course. Chris Fisher.
Chris having a bit of fun. reminds me of Scuzzle back in the day when if he'd finish a qualifying lap, he'd just go off on a mad tangent. Do miss watching him race.
Who was it?
Nick Bailey.
Nick Bailey, yes, of Scuzzle Motorsport, yes. Oh yeah, he was, like you say, he was at a great lap and got absolutely bonkers thereafter. He was good fun. Aaron Large is still out there apparently.
Apparently so.
Where is?
I think that is session over now. Yeah, I don't think anybody is on an improvement. So we'll just jump into the downtime. While we wait for everybody else to just come across the line now.
Indeed, indeed. So last few competitors to finish their laps, and it's going to be Ivan Pavicevic on the top of the tree, Aaron Large in second place, and Toskovic in third, Homo Farrell rounding out the first two rows with Max Mars and Andrew Richardson on row 3. All right. I think we are going to expect quite a lot of happenings as we continue to watch Chris Fisher. Here is one of the first trouble spots. If you making it through turn 1's not so bad from the start because you're not quite up to racing speed by that point. At that point where the walls are very high and the track pinches a little bit, if people don't get that right, we're in for a lot of dented cars and discarded pieces.
We are indeed, and obviously, you know, as we wait for the sessions to tick over, yeah, it's very difficult. Turn 1 is quite a pinch point. So you've got that small left-hand kink before the first proper turn, and that first turn pinches massively on the entry. So you do see people sometimes get a bit too wide and ping back across the track, and obviously if that happens, especially at the front, you could lose a few drivers from the grid.
Right. So as Adam mentioned, we're just waiting for the session to begin, and then it is time to get race number 1 underway. As mentioned, Ivan Pavicevic at the top of the tree with an absolutely cracking time on the board. Second, Aaron Large, very familiar with this circuit. We'll see what he is capable of doing when we get this session underway.
We are on the grid. That's not good.
Well, as long as you've retired yourself.
We'll retire. We'll retire before we start. Don't worry.
I did forget to do that once, and I killed someone at Snetterton for it, and I was not a popular man.
I can't imagine you would be.
No. 22 minutes on the board as obviously we do have the 2-minute countdown as the drone is now flying away, it's the most silent drone in the world. So there we go then. Let's have a look down the grid then, Mr. Drone Pilot. So on the right of our picture is Ivan Pavicevic, and the white and blue number 11 on Aaron Large on our left-hand side. Next up is the Bumblebee, or the second of the Bumblebee cars, which is Toskovic with Ty Farrell, championship runner-up so far, in 4th position. Then it's championship leader Max Mars alongside Andrew Richardson on row number 3. Then it's the third of the Bumblebee cars, which is Ivanovic in the number 55 in 7th, and Stu Neal in the bright red car on the Type R. That's optimistic. Ludwig in the pink floral design on the number 14 in 9th, and then it was practice leader Androvic in 10th place in the number 95 for row 5. Then row 6 is Mark Pimlott in the Subway emblazoned car. Then it's Toby Owen in the Grid Finder emblazoned number 42. Then it is Chris Fisher in 13th and Steve Hilton for row number 7. And Tom Bunton and Ben Morlam on row 8. And it's pink. Can't get past the fact it's pink.
It's not pink. If I was able to make a poll, we'd be making a poll, and I can guarantee you it's not pink.
Super install in 17th. Then is Bannochbrae with the Capital One car on our left-hand side. Then Alistair Pollock with the final car, and he's very conveniently gone away. Actually, show off your handiwork. I mean, there's a traction livery. In fairness, I will say they all look amazing, and that's a very good livery as designed by our own Mr. Bent.
It's just a bit pink for you, is it?
I'm not a fan of pink on race cars, I'm afraid. But the liveries do look absolutely cracking, no doubt about it. So let's head then to the front of the field as the timing is ticked down to 20.
Do we not have a better camera for the start? Is this really a camera for the start?
That's a long way away.
There we go. This is the best camera we've got for the start, so we'll have to...
Here we go. Here we go. It is time for race number 1. Time to wind them up and let them go. Who is going to have the best start? Well, no one's going to be bravest on the brakes just yet because they don't touch the brakes for a while. It's a decent start from Aaron Large pulling alongside Pavicevic.
Toskovic got a really good start there as well. You can see he's pressuring the two already. He's already in the middle. That's not going well, please.
Don't go 3 wide there.
Oh,
Now coming through. Oh, here we go.
The wall.
Bouncing off the wall, coming through turn 1 now, screaming down. Oh, look at that. That's Tom O'Farrell trying to castle for 3rd position. You can see on the right-hand side of the road. But you're going to get pinched there. Is anyone going to come a cropper into the wall? Well, Sebring Stoll has dropped at the tail end of the field. Your car has been automatically retired, which is good to see.
I think it may still be on the track, so we're just going to be 100% certain.
Yeah.
I'd rather not kill anybody.
Yeah.
Don't think that would play very well.
So Sebring Stoll has had a bad start, but it does look like everybody's survived. No huge gaps as everybody comes screaming down over the bridge, coming past Farm Curve. Pavicevic leads Large, leads Toskovic, leads O'Farrell to the top 5.
Oh,
there's
big
problems.
contact. Who was that? That was the 95. That was 95. That was Adrovic.
Yes. Oh no, Erwin Adrovic, huge impact. That's Sebring Stoll at the back. So Steve Hilton has been caught up in that issue as well. Oh, the big problem there. Toby Owens has fallen down to, well, he's just fallen down to 13th. I think he was in that region anyway. So that right ahead of Toby is Tom Bunton. But look up front. Look at that. Aaron Large and Pavicevic. There they are. Checked out as Toskovic is. Oh, no, more trouble. There's Alistair Pollock. It's tangled up with Ben Morlam. Oh, no, where's that? That's just after the Lighthouse turn. That's just before the rise. And there that is before they start to get airborne. But Aaron Large is hustling hard for the lead.
Yeah, he's doing a great job there. He's right on the back of
Pavicevic.
God, I'm going to get these eventually. But you can see just how much these two have actually put, well, it seems to be that they've put a fair few laps in. And they're pulling away quite nicely. I mean, I was watching Aaron in free practice before the session started. He wasn't anywhere near towards the top, but he's definitely pulled something out here, and it looks like he's challenging quite hard and may even get a race win here, which would be great to see.
Absolutely, we got that's Andrew Richardson that's falling down through the field. He's come across. Oh, and there on the left-hand side,
that was Stu Neal with Ivanovic.
Ivanovic, yes. What's happened there? They must have come together. They're very slow at the moment. There's Chris Fisher. He's had a pretty good start. Making his way through the field in the green Fisher Motorsport car.
That was Toby. No, Toby.
Oh, no, that was indeed the amazing car. That was a huge impact into the bridge wall. Oh, and lots of smoke coming off his tyres. Oh, yet again, Bannochbrae has bitten the Lord our Father of this cup, Toby Owen. Oh my goodness me, he's gonna. So Pollock and Morlam. Still having problems. You can see their names lit up in red. But back up the front now, I did see Aaron just clip the wall coming over the second bridge after Cascades. That may have slowed him down a little bit, but Toskovic and Tom O'Farrell are really closing in on there. Max Mars isn't far behind either. There he is, still in 5th position. Big gap now, 4.5 seconds more than that to Mark Pimlight in 6th place. And Toby Owen, with that huge impact, is of course going to fall through the field. He's going to come into the pits. But with the amount of issues other people are having, it's always worth continuing. You still could be on for a decent finish.
Absolutely, and you've got to remember this is top 10 reverse as well. So obviously currently Tom Bunton now just takes that position. But the drivers at the back may know that, they may say, right, this race is done for me in terms of podiums or anything higher. But, I can get an opportunity here for a reverse grid pole if I can just push that a little bit harder. Good fortune, unfortunately. Toby has said to us repeatedly how much he loves this track. It just doesn't love him, and
it doesn't love him. No,
it's another day in which it's shown that Alistair Pollock now retiring.
Yeah, he was that was a big impact he had with Ben Morlam, sadly. Whoa, Aaron Large giving it plenty, coming through that. What did you call it? Commitment corner is a great name for that. As Vujovic and Mark Pimlight side by side at that very same place. That is ballsy.
Village entry. He's gone around the outside. If he holds that, a very good move down the outside
what a move. Someone's had his Weetabix. What a move from Vujovic. He's now going to come through the town centre chicane. Looks like everybody survived that one. There's Stu Neal at the back of that particular train in the bright red car. So that is a nice 4-car conga line that's formed there. Looks like Tuskovic has fallen a bit off the back of Aaron Large looking at the timing screens, but there's that's a big lockup from Mark Pimlott that's going to compromise his line down through Cascades onto the bridge. And there you go, you can see, as Stu Neal bounces off the wall. You do not want to be doing that many times. Yes, these things don't rely on aerodynamics, but you do not want to be bouncing off the walls anyway, as Steve Hilton has had an issue somewhere. He's fallen down the field, despite the fact that Toby's had that massive impact. He's back up to 14. He's still
very
going.
Good job by him. And again, obviously, he's not going to. It's a never say die attitude, and that's a really good attitude to have when racing. I think he races in endurance racing. He knows that incidents are part of racing. He's just going to keep pushing. In fact, that's a rapid time from Pavicevic. We didn't see that in the session. 2:39.
Well, he was the only one to get 2:39.
Christ,
so
it's a very quick time.
Absolutely flying up front, but Aaron Large doing a stunning job in staying in Pavicevic's tyre tracks as Pimlott again flirting with the grass on the outside of turn 1. Nicely done. Chris Fisher trying his best to stay in the slipstream of the subway emblazoned car. And Stu Neal, bit of a lock up there. With the amount of smoke that these things give off, it can be a little misleading on how big the lockup actually is. There is Toskovic. Now coming over the first bridge, heading down towards Farm. That was a lock-up there from Pavicevic. And Toby Owens actually back up to 13th. I think he started around there. So despite the fact that his car has taken an almighty great hit, he's back up into 13th place. He's pressing on as best he can. It didn't look like it wanted to turn whatsoever coming out of the hillside there. But he's pressing on nonetheless.
Absolutely. And again, he's pushing as hard as he can. There's no point him, accepting defeat per se. You can see Max Mask and Tom O'Farrell as championship protagonists.
Yeah,
Tom's side by side.
Tom's made had an error there because he was on the back of Toskovic for a while.
He was.
He's now fallen into the clutches of Mask. Now 2.3 seconds behind Toskovic.
The headlights came straight on as soon as he's behind him. But yeah, you can see that these two are racing each other hard. Tom knows that he needs to finish ahead of Max now in pretty much every round to close the gap here, so he can't let Max Mars run away now. Max, it's unusual to see him a bit well, I know it sounds odd saying 4th place is far, but it is unusual to see him at this position, especially in race 1.
Yeah, absolutely. He's won all 4 races we've had so far, so seeing him anywhere other than pole is a strange thing, as Tom is really hustling him out. And there's Aaron Large trying to challenge for the lead, coming down through Cascades, keeps it out of the wall quite nicely. It helps to maintain the momentum, which is absolutely crucial in these cars. As Stu Neal and Chris Fisher have swapped round for 8th position, as is always the way. They've swapped back again. As is always the way in the Clio Cup, there is racing everywhere to be found. Andrew Richardson is closing in on them. I think they came together into the wall, did Fisher and Neal. How many times have we talked about these two? They've crossed swords many times Absolutely. On the virtual race field, and Andy Richardson now catches them for 8th position. Tom O'Farrell and Max Mars have swapped round again, as Stu Neal has got a good run on the... Max is in trouble. He must have hit something.
Oh
no! Fisher
that was Richardson and Fisher. I'm not sure where Richardson is.
Yeah,
he's kept going, but Stu Neal's been just very lucky.
Wow.
I mean, luck doesn't begin to cover how lucky he was there. Richardson also lucky to escape that crash, but Chris just all sorts of wayward. Got caught in the trap, and exactly what you said, hits the bollard, hits the outer pillar, and just throws it into the wall. In fact, Toby just setting his personal best on the way to 13th place currently, so he's definitely got pace.
That was close to his qualifying pace, and we got no damage on today, because considering the impact that Toby in particular had, or what it looked like from our perspective.
It was quite a heavy hit. It was quite a heavy hit.
And he had an argument with practice leader Adjovic as Mark Pimlott's in trouble. We've just seen him go past. Oh no, there is the subway car. It's an odd sentence to say, I grant you. But yeah, he got caught out. There's a bit of a runoff area just before that bridge, and if you get into it, it's just grass. You never get out of it at pace. Whoa, that was Bunton getting very squiggly right behind in the 43 car. Has he got the grid finder livery on as well?
Yeah, so Tom and Toby are unofficial teammates for this series. I think Tom might have obviously affiliation with grid finder, hence the obviously the livery. A bit like when Ross drove my car in round 1, obviously working for Traction. He was gonna definitely not plug in his own brand per se. But, you would if you could.
Let's be honest. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, here's Mark on the outside of Chris Fisher. Do they want to be side by side here? No, they don't, but they're going for it anyway. Oh, Mark! Very heavy right
Both
foot,
in the
he
wall.
backs out of it. Oh, yeah, but he's forced Chris into a very heavy impact there. Oh, Mark backed out of that just a fraction of a second too late, so he caught the wall as well. But Chris really heavily bounced off the wall, and that's given Mark Pinlon the position. Here comes Tom Bunton as well in the second of the grid finder cars. He had to bow out of that. It's physically impossible to go side by side through the town centre chicane. It just will not work. You both will end up absolutely mullered.
Something happened to Toby because he's down to 14th now. No, actually, there you go. It's just Adrovich is very quick.
I think it's just, Adrovich is on a recovery drive. That's all that's happened there. So Toby Owens doing a great recovery drive here. Whoa, big lockup again from Adrovich, which again is easy to do because you want to be braking as late as you can. On board with the grid finder ace now, over the bridge. Again, you can see just how well this track has been recreated. Now, this is what it looks like from a driver's perspective as you go over the jump. And there's the wall that is greeting you. Now, you come back down to earth relatively quickly in these cars. But if you get that wrong, that wall will not forgive you for it. And you're going to have a very bumpy ride.
Serve the best by Tom O'Farrell. Just seen that there, 39.7, so...
Oh, wow. Tom O'Farrell now really pressing on. He's ditched Max by about 4 seconds. So I did think that Max had a problem somewhere. So that's what's dropped him a long way off. Stu Neal and Andrew Richardson, I think, are still having a bit of an argument for 8th place. Are they? No, actually, Andrew Richardson
9th,
back.
I think. But there we go. We'll jump back. There we go. They're still fighting each other. There's Fisher. He's come back for round 2. So these three are back together. Obviously, we saw a bit of a handbags moment for Fisher last time round when these two fought. But in fact, there you go. It's a pretty easy move there. Stu gets a little bit wayward and just basically lets him straight through.
Yeah, Stu got onto the grass on the inside line, which completely compromised his exit from that section, from the hillside. So he had no momentum coming onto the bridge. So Chris picked up 10th position rather easily there. Tom Bunton still lurking in the background. There at the top of the shot was Erwin Adrovich. A couple of seconds back is Toby Owen. Tom Owen? No, muddling up names again. The top 3 are closing back up again by the look of it. And now it looked like Pavicevic had managed to get a bit of distance, but he's being closed in again by Aaron Large. Oh, careful with those curbs. They will spin you around really, really easily. So Toskovic flirting a bit with the curbs coming through the town centre chicane, now heading towards the left-hander on board again with the number 27 through this left-hander, and you've seen a number of cars go into that grassy area on the right-hand side. Now we're coming into Cascades, get the braking right, really easy to lock up the brakes because you do have a crest right as the braking zone is arriving. Cut the right-hand side there, nicely done, over the bridge and heading towards the jump. I mean, these cars don't get a lot of air coming over it, but it's still enough to kind of make you think about it. And yeah, you saw Jovan there kind of, take the apex quite side as Aaron get the tail wagging on the number 11. Pressing on. We're already well over halfway in this race. It's absolutely flown by. Oh, you see Toskovic's car was a bit misbehaving there. Didn't really want to turn in as much as he would have liked. He's kept his foot in it. There's Tom O'Farrell in the background of the shot. He's not gaining on this pack. But I think Pavicevic is still going to have some defending to do in the closing stage of this race. Yeah, Aaron Large has gained 4 tenths on him in this lap alone.
Absolutely. You can see that Aaron is pushing as hard as he can now. In fact, there you go, personal best by Toskovic as well. So Toskovic is actually closing on these two, whether they've burnt out their tyres at the front a bit too quickly, and this is basically them starting to lose their pace now. I'm not quite sure, but obviously Toskovic has done a great job to maintain his tyres. 14 minutes into the race now, and you can see that he's finally starting to capitalise on their early push.
Yeah, absolutely. Really on the back of Aaron Large, then coming over the bridge, heading towards Farm. Richardson and Ivanovic, they're continuing their argument for 7th position. That's Andy Richardson has got that one at the moment in the number 91 as they're chucking their cars into the hillside now, and they've come through that section unscathed, heading up to the bridge. Yeah, again, it's really easy to get into that grassy area on the right-hand side. We saw, I think it was Chris Fisher. That's where he came a cropper earlier on. Now into Farm. Again, a bit of a lock-up there as you're trying to break over that crest at the end of the bridge and keeping the cars nice and steady as Ivanovic nearly pushing Andrew Richardson through that section. Now into the S's, or the Stewart S's I've called them. Oh, and he's going to have a look on the outside line coming. No,
it's
no,
going to
it's
be contact with the wall. But he's stayed out of it, just about.
He did indeed. It's going to cost him a bit of momentum. There's the lighthouse on the right-hand side. A few road cones there. I'm surprised they haven't actually been detonated yet. They're probably see-through ones. Drive-through ones, I should say.
I mean, one thing, two things about obviously a port is that, you know, sometimes not all the destructibles or the colliders work the same way, but equally, what's better about this track on this game as opposed to PC2, none of the annoying track cut penalties.
Oh, amen. As much as I was...
no! As I said, Andrew Richardson, give me a prime example there. You get a ping for that in Project Cars, you just get told you cut the track slightly there in this game.
As much as I was a P-Cars 2 fanboy, still kind of am, that part I was never a fan of. So, you know, I can never defend those things. Fell foul of them many a time myself. But there is the lead, and look at that! Aaron Large has now closed in to within half a second, or almost half a second, to Pavicevic as Ivan has gone a little bit too deep there, bouncing off the wall. That's going to cost him a little bit of momentum, and that's the worst time. Steve Hilton has gone off somewhere. As you can see, his name highlighted in red. As they're going to complete the penultimate lap. Yeah, 2:40 40-ish per lap with less than 4 to go. So this is the penultimate lap they're now beginning. As Aaron Large now into the 39s. So yeah, he is pressing on and doing a fantastic job. Whoa! Pavicevic getting the tail out. It looks slightly, it isn't the quickest way. Even Max Masters getting the 39s on the board, but he's still a couple of seconds behind O'Farrell. Still people finding pace out there with a bit less fuel in the cars. And people a bit more confident with how their cars are going to behave. Look at Toskovic. He was really closing in hard on the top two. He's now 1.3 behind them. So it could be that he's now could boil his tyres a little bit. Aaron Large is now looming large in Pavicevic's rear view mirrors. But the number 19 is still doing a great job of maintaining the lead.
Absolutely. You can see he's pushing as hard as he can now. He knows that Aaron has got the pace to overtake him if he doesn't, you know, keep consistent pace now. It is a bit harder to overtake here, obviously, even though it is a two-laned road, it still is quite narrow compared to some racetracks you see elsewhere elsewhere on the calendar. So you can see that he's pushing as hard as he can now to try and catch to the back of and overtake within the 2 laps that he has now. So it'll be very much a case of who blinks first.
Yeah, totally. I mean, what this track doesn't have is big braking zones. You've got lots of small areas where you do have to scrub off some speed, or depending on how brave you are and how much speed you scrub. But like here, for instance, you've got this left-hander that needs you to brake a bit. Oh, and that's going to be wide for Pavicevic. It's not going to be an opportunity, though, for Aaron to get past before the town centre chicane, but he's going to maintain his momentum and try and get him into Cascades. No, Aaron had to back out of that a little bit. But yeah, there's no massive braking zones. There's no first gear corners, anything like that. So they're having to rely on momentum and forcing the error. But look how defensive Pavicevic had to go coming into Cascades. Aaron really got squiggly coming into the top of the downhill section. Now, and again, he's not going to have anywhere to use any extra momentum there. So Aaron's still got it all to do if he wants to try and wrestle the lead.
He has, and you know, you can see that he has got the pace to take the lead. He just can't find a way through at the moment, and like you say, there's no heavy braking zones. Obviously, Aaron being a Mazda driver, I think that's what a lot of drivers, especially in lighter cars, tend to rely on. You know, their braking. You watch Daniel Ricciardo in Formula 1; he's probably one of the best of late brakers. So what Aaron's just hoping is that there's a small mistake from Pavicevic there towards the end of this race here that you can capitalise on.
Final lap then in first race here at Bannochbrae. Oh, and that's Tom O'Farrell and Max Mars at it again. Now, Max has been closing in for the last couple of laps on Tom, but Tom's going to have the inside line into turn 1. Max has bowed out of that one, didn't fancy going side by side. No, don't blame him either. You're absolutely flat out or near enough coming through turn 1. You do not want to be side by side. As Adam said, whilst it is a 2-lane road, you do not want to be side by side. If you're going side by side, you're just slow corner, fine. But when you're absolutely flat out, especially with the amount of corners this circuit has, I wouldn't recommend it personally. But Tom O'Farrell has managed to fend off the championship leader. There's not going to be many more opportunities for Max, and Max is dropping back a bit. Maybe that was, the best of it, what he had left of his tyres. They now come through farm themselves. And yeah, Tom might well have enough, as long as he doesn't make any serious mistakes. He might have enough just to finish ahead of Max, and that'll be the first win that has gone to someone other than Max Mars in this series so far. As we switch back to our leaders, that's Lighthouse. We're now coming through, and now into the rise, as Pavicevic has got, that's again half a second. As long as he doesn't make any serious mistakes, that's going to be very, very hard for Aaron Mars to overhaul. As we now come back down again into commitment corner. Now, who's going to be bravest here? Oh, Aaron giving it
fully
plenty.
Sideways. Lovely. I mean, it may not win him the race, but definitely a a photo moment there for sure.
100%. It looks it's not fast, but it is absolutely fantastic to see. Bouncing off the curbs, absolutely fine. Nothing wrong with that. Heading towards Cascades now. The left-hander just before the drop. And yep, keeps it nice. Oh, Aaron flirting with the grass again. You do not want to be going anywhere near the grass. A big lock up for Ivan coming into the top there. The car getting squiggly, but then Aaron locked up as well. And now he's under pressure from Toskovic for second position. Now potentially up for grabs for the number 27.
Yeah, you can see that Aaron's all of a sudden now on the back foot here. You can see he's now having to defend from Toskovic. Toskovic has pretty much left it as late as he can. In fact, he's going to have to, it's going to be a sort of all or nothing towards his last. As you can see, he's pretty much put all or nothing into that turn there. So he's going to have to look down the inside here. This is the last opportunity, really, you've got to overtake. Nope, not enough there, I don't think. So it will be, I think, past.
Where's he gone?
Pavicevic. In fact, yeah, where's he
Where's
gone?
Oh, no. But your winner for race number 1 by, again, a brilliant effort. Ivan Pavicevic takes.
Thomas Fowler's going to take third. Oh no!
Thomas Fowler, yeah. What's happened to?
That's how close are they? They are. Oh my!
Oh my goodness! Thomas
Fowler
just only just remained on the podium there from Max Mars.
I need to know how.
Fifth.
Oh my days! What's happened there? No, he hasn't run out of fuel. I think he's had a big impact. I can tell you that much. But oh, whoa!
Usual sim racing celebration going
sim
on
racing
there.
Celebrations.
So there we go. Yep, I think Toskovic just finished in 6th in the end for challenging for 2nd. Oh boy,
a little bit of a flirting there.
Yeah,
flirting would be an understatement, I suppose, but yeah.
So Toskovic finished 6th, Ivanovic 7th, Richardson 8th, Stu Neal 9th, Mark Pimlott 10th, Chris Fisher 11th, Erwin Adjovic 12th, Tom Bunton 13th, Toby Owen 14th, and now Siebenstall is going to bring his car over the line for 15th position. Then it is Bannochbrae in the Capital One number 1. Is going to bring that one home in 16th position. Steve Hilton has had a fair amount of turmoil this race. He's going to come home in 17th position. Ben Morland, we saw him involved in that huge accident with Alistair Pollock right at the beginning of the race. Sadly, Alistair retired. And the pink number 3 he's going to come home to finish the session. What a race. I knew this would be good. And yet again, our Clios have not disappointed.
They absolutely haven't. You can see just how, just how interesting that race was. It was an incredible job by all the drivers. At least everybody that's, Alistair Pollock, the only one not to finish, but these guys have done a great job.
And fair play, I thought we'd have more trouble actually into that into what I call the hillside, which is with the basically turn 2 and 3, which is where you got the rocks either side of it. I thought we'd have more trouble there, but there we go. That was the finishing order. So
10th from between.
Wow!
Between them. Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. That a literal blink of an eye. So it's going to give the reverse grid pole if the drone would focus and get out of the floor.
No, they can't see that just yet. There we go. We're focused. We're focused up now. There we go. Happy days.
Right. So let's get to the top of the grid again. Unfortunately, sadly, the drone started by Adam's car. That's why it's now going to work its way all the way to the front. We've lost. Have we lost? We've lost Alistair, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. Unfortunately, Alistair's not on the grid now.
That's a great shame. Let's have a look then how the grid lines up for race number 2. As reminded, it is formed from the results of race 1, but the top 10 are reversed. So it is Mark Pimlott in the subway car with Stu Neal on the front row, Andrew Richardson and Peter Ivanovic row 2. Then it is Toskovic and Vujovic on row 3. Then it is Mars and O'Farrell, row number 4. Then it's the number 11 of Aaron Large and race 1 winner of Pavicevic on the number 19 on the left-hand side for row number 5. Chris Fisher and Erwin Adrovic on row 6. Tom Bunton and Toby Owen with a much... Well, they're actually... the group finder pair are together. Just realised that.
Yeah, I just noticed
on
that
row
as well.
7. Stephen Stoll and Bernicevic on row 8. And Steve Hilton and Ben Morlam round out the field on row number 9. Right, now this could get interesting. If people behave themselves coming into that first couple of turns, then all will be well. But this, the reverse grid race coming into that hillside bend, that's where I'm expecting fireworks.
Absolutely, I think there's going to be a bit of an interesting display. And again, obviously, it's all about these guys now getting good momentum for the rest of the race. You know, race 1 was great. Let's see a great race 2.
I'd love to see actually that drone cam shot used in real life racing, but you know, drivers would either make gestures at it or throw things at it.
Only way to be.
Absolutely, as the indestructible drone's flown through a pillar. Nicely done.
Oh.
I let's face it, we all would. Club level racing, you'd have a can in the car to ying at it.
Oh, you absolutely would.
You would get absolutely hauled in front of the clerk of the course for doing it.
Now, what do you think you're doing? 3 points.
Yeah. Here we go then. Race number 2. Wind them up and let them go. Who is going to be bravest on the brakes this time? Well, that's a good start from Pimlott. It's a terrible start from Stu Neal. He's going to be swallowed up by Richardson and potentially Ivanovic. We will see 3 wide coming into turn 1.
He's around the outside. He's going to be pushed out.
No,
there you go, Neil on the wall. That's huge impact.
Massive incident. Yeah, I mean, you do not ever want to be going 3 wide there. Not again, Toby Owen. Did you brake or did you see it
I think he stopped. Oh,
okay.
Definitely.
He saw lots of smoke.
I think Toby's had enough of a contact to his car, bless him.
Yeah.
But Mark Pimlott's got exactly what he wanted there. He's got away straight away. In fact, Ivanovic started in 7th. He's now up to 2nd.
But Chris Fisher is down into 18th place. I'm going to sneeze. Oh, excuse me.
Oof, bless you. But no, that's really not ideal for Stu Neal. Stu Neal gets caught up in a massive, sort of almost, not intentionally, but almost instigates the incident by having such a slow start. He gets swallowed up and just causes that Constantina effect that enabled a small bit of carnage at the start.
Sadly so, but Mars and Richardson have swapped round. You can see just at the top of the shot there. They've done that at the Lighthouse turn as Ivanovic is defending against Stu Neal onto and over the rise. Now coming down the hill. You do not want to be side by side there into commitment corner. Well, we've seen side by sides work there before. And that's on for the wall.
Oh, it's round.
He's going to be into the wall.
Oh,
he didn't pick anybody up there. But yeah, huge incident for Stu Neal. That's why you don't want to be side by side coming through commitment corner. I mean, he gave it all the commitment, granted, but it didn't pay off for him. So that's Ivanovic, Vujovic, and Aaron Large now in that particular pack. Then it is Mass and Richardson. Where has O'Farrell gone? O'Farrell is down to 16th. Oh no, Ivanovic into the wall. Yep, as you said, that's
Max Mass has had a great start. In fact, Tom O'Farrell, after beating Max, is now down in 16th place. So Max will be loving this. You know, again, obviously, I mean this in all respect. But yeah, this is really not what Tom needs.
No, absolutely not. Toby Owens back up to 12th, so he's actually ahead of where we started. So hopefully he has avoided the early incidents alongside Bernicevic in the number 1. Manages to get that one done before the jump. Yeah, you do not want to be side by side there under any circumstance, and survives that one. Oh no, Vujovic is in trouble. He's made a mistake and he's now falling through the field. What's he done?
There he is. I think that's on the bridge.
It's probably just a simple mistake, but because the pack is so heavily condensed, you're going to lose a lot of positions as a result. So Aaron Large now up in front of this particular pack. Now Max Masters just made his way past Aaron Richardson, up into 3rd position now. Ivanovic down into 5th place. Aaron Large now going to try and chase off after Mark Pimlott. Ivanovic and Stu Neal have swapped round. Stu we've seen bouncing off the walls already. Now into Hillside. Still side-by-sides going on, as Ivanovic has got a lot of company there in 6th place.
Absolutely, you can see that these guys are pushing, and I think, in fact, in a few laps, I think Mark Pimlott's going to have a lot of company in this pack of 4 cars here. In fact, not far behind, you can see Pavicevic, Neal, Hilton, and Vujovic just in the background there. In fact, you can see Hilton now overtaking Vujovic just for 8th place. As Aaron smoke show there for Max Mass as they come through off of first bridge.
Yeah, and down past the farm through the S's now. There is Vujovic. So he made a mistake earlier on. Now behind Steve Hilton, he's now in 9th position in the floral number 14. A couple of seconds back is Tom Bunton, then Toskovic, who's potentially on for second position in race 1. Then we didn't really see what the incident was, but he had some kind of major problem that then made him crawl all the way over the line, finishing in 6th place. There he is, Toby Owen 7 tenths behind. There he is in the second of the grid finder cars. With Bannochbrae, we just saw Toby getting past at the end of the first lap. Now screaming their way down through commitment corner now. Oh no, that's Vujovic! He's got that one wrong. What I suspect he's done, he's bounced off the opposite wall, and that's pitched him hard. Oh, that's a very horrible bounce.
Not what you want to. In fact, there you go, Aaron Large now. Another thing you definitely don't want is championship leader bearing down on you, as he's going to go around down the inside of the first bit of Cascades. Yeah. He's going to get it wrong. Get it. Gets it all wrong there as Aaron Large goes through. In fact, you call it Cascades. It reminds me a bit of I forget what the downhill bit is at Donington before Old Hairpin.
The name's gone out of my head.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
I know exactly what you mean. Craney curves.
Yeah, Craney, that's it.
Yeah, Hollywood and Craney curves. Yes. Actually, I follow that. I follow exactly what you mean there. But yeah, that one mistake
poor
from
Aaron.
He's dropped him down into
he's
5th
been
position.
He's been punished for somebody else's mistake there. It's really unfortunate.
Yeah.
But you know that is racing.
It, yeah, it is, especially when in a single make series where the cars are so identical. The main difference is the fleshy bit behind the wheel. And there goes Ivanovic having a go at Richardson, coming down into turn 1, side by side. We've seen this go wrong already tonight. Oh, and nicely done, but that's going to... Whoa, part the waves. Aaron Large, take a bow. That was a great opportunistic move. Now coming into hillside, and he's got it done. Now straight up to 3rd. Now, both Richardson and Ivanovic actually compromised their momentum to make sure they got through that turn side-by-side safety. Fair play to both of them, but then through the middle and Aaron Large, thank you very much. He's going to chase off after championship leader now, and that could be another podium for Aaron.
Yeah, again, he's done a great job there. He's got back past the 2. Now going to chase down Max Mass. Max Mass hasn't actually got much more of a pace advantage compared to Aaron. So Aaron's now just going to push as hard as he can to try and get back that 2nd place.
Yeah, absolutely. So Mark Pimlott then being chased hard by Max Mass. And Aaron Large leading this 4-car line. Was almost 5 cars. Stu Neal is not far off the back of it. Actually, I think he may well have caught the back of it now. Let's see. He's near enough involved in it, but Aaron Large has got it all to do. He's got several cars buzzing around his tail. Now up through the rise, and is this going to be another side-by-side? Potentially. Ivanovic and Richardson going to be side-by-side coming through the commitment corner. This could go horribly wrong.
Where is he? He's survived. But when I say barely.
Wow. Yeah, that could have gone horribly.
I say all then go
wrong. Yeah, and there goes Richardson into the wall, and that's going to give Stu Neal a position. Oh, yeah, look at the... I beg your pardon, that was... I think it was Steve Hilton I was looking at. I thought that Richardson had a massive incident. You've got 2 green cars, very similar in livery, that are at a distance now. My goodness me, so plenty going on. Tom O'Farrell's back up into 10th position. He was down to 16th not that long ago. But now up to 10th. Oh, that wasn't a good line there for Ivanovic at the top of Cascades as he's hit the wall. That's going to cost him valuable momentum there. Is that going to be a position for Stu Neal? That's 5th place now for the red number 4. Yeah, that should be long since done by the time they get to the jump. And yeah, oh wow, that was a bit of an ugly bounce there from Ivanovic.
We're fixed now. The camera wasn't... Where we go? In fact, yeah. Fixes just as I wanted to click to Max Mass. There we go. So Max Mass now on the back of Mark Pimlott. In fact, it's typical. The camera breaks and then it just wants to work right away, and it gives us a good battle here between Max Mass and Mark Pimlott. Mark Pimlott now trying to hold off Max for his first race win of the series. Max wanting his 5th out of 6. So
Yeah,
not to be outdone. He wants to make sure he gets as many wins this season as he can.
Yeah, absolutely. Now through turn 1, and Mark is a bit wide there, but does manage to keep it out of the wall, but that's going to give momentum to Max. Max is going to have to commit to the outside line coming into hillside, and Mark Pinmont stayed with it. Fair play to him, but he can't hold it, and that's allowed Aaron Large to close in on them as well. So that's going to be Large. He's broken away a bit from Pavicevic. Yeah, that's actually over a second between Aaron Large and Pavicevic. Oh no! Who's that that's gone wrong?
That's
Fisher.
Chris Fisher.
Oh my goodness me, screaming along the road. Lots and lots of smoke. Here's even more smoke. As that's Max Mass that's got far more wrong. So Mark Pimrod's going to try and draw alongside coming into the Stewart S's. Still side by side. That's brave to go on the outside there. He's not going to have the inside line on this section. Max is compromising his pace enough that it's not going to send them both into the wall. Oh no, not Toby Owen again. Oh no.
That's teammates.
Oh no, it is. The grid finder pair have come together.
Oh no, they've broken the golden rule of motorsport.
No. That's
no.
a farm as well. Oh goodness me, side by side again. Still,
this is towards commitment corner.
That's commitment corner. Yeah, they're going to have
both
to compromise
very
their
clean.
line. They did indeed, but that's now allowed Aaron to properly join this conga line. Not even half a second between any of these top 3. So who's going to come out here? Mark Pimlot's doing a stunning job of staying on the back of Max Mars. Fair play to Max to get back up into the lead position, but he hasn't run off into the distance. That's very much been the story of the series, though. He hasn't just legged it into the distance. Yes, he's won 4 out of the 5 races we've had thus far, but it's not been dominant wins. He's been hustled for certainly most of his wins, but he's really having to work hard to keep his pursuers behind him.
Absolutely, you can see he's working as hard as he can to get to the front. In fact, I remember at Thruxton second race, he didn't win on track. He won that post-race with penalties, so he knows that he has got to work hard to keep these drivers behind, because these are very quick drivers across the series. As few drivers here not having great races. We know that Chris Fisher is a very quick driver. I've raced against him myself in touring cars, and I know damn well that he's a very quick driver on his day, and it's just unfortunate for him. But you can see that Max, yes, he has got 4 wins out of 5. This is the first round he's actually dropped points to a title rival. But he's doing everything right this round to make sure that he does leave at least with 1 more win.
Indeed he is. And we have 2 more rounds after this one. We head to Donington next time, and then Brands to finish the series. But right now it is Hills of Bannochbrae that are still trying, as Vukovic and Morlam having an argument for 11th position, slightly further down the field. But Max Mars doing what he can to try and break away from Mark Pimlott, who's doing a great job staying on the boot of the number 58, the Subway emblazoned car, staying very much glued to the leader at the moment. Into farm, here we go, as Toskovic and Hilton have now swapped round. Oh, that's why, because Steve Hilton is off. He's had an incident somewhere. There he is. That's on the exit of Hillside, I think.
Yeah, that is. It's just full first bridge. In fact, there you go.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, and there goes Vujovic along with Morlam. So he's going to carry on falling down the field. But the top 4, well, it's now top 4 because Pavicevic is closed back in on them. So, yeah, Mass has still got it all to do. He's got the lead now. He's got himself a little bit of breathing space. But as we know, judging by the last race alone, that can change so quickly.
It can, and that's the difference between this circuit and I think every other circuit we visit. I'm going to have to be a pain. I believe it's Snetterton 200, not Brands. I think that was a typo in the notes we've been given.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, we get to say your favourite corner in motorsport, but anyway.
Thank you.
we'll save that surprise for Snetterton. But yeah, you can see that Max Mass has been given a little bit more breathing room. Mark Pimlott made a mistake there. It's closed up the gap between 2nd and 4th, but given Max that little bit of breathing room. Aaron Large has decided that he doesn't want to allow Mark. Mark spins!
No!
Oh, he's just dropped that on his own. There's nothing on it, but dropped it on his own trying to defend. You can see just how light these cars get at the rear. Best way to drive these, and this is a tried and tested method. I think a lot of front wheel drive specialists will tell you, is just point and shoot. You put your corner, you direct it in the right way, foot down and hope it sticks, because there's no weight in the rear of these cars.
Yeah, very much makes me think of classic minis, and when I've seen those up at Castle Combe, I've seen them several times indeed with my work with the Classic Sports Car Club, and they're hilarious. You point the nose and you boot the throttle, and the driver is grinning his head off.
Oh
the
yeah,
whole time, because they are
it's the only way
so
to
much
drive.
fun. They are so much
Yeah,
fun.
I do enjoy rallycross as well, where it's purely just chuck it in full throttle and hope it slides.
Oh, Pavicevic has managed to nail Aaron Large.
That's very good. That was a good move for him. But he's going to be in the wall now. He's going to
Oh,
compromise
no!
himself. Here comes Mark Pimlott. He's going to back around the outside, closes the door, and that's third place again for Mark. So Aaron's now got a massive job on here to close a gap of 2.5 seconds to probably the most consistent driver in the series.
Yeah, that's going to be a very, very tall order with only 3 laps-ish. 3-ish laps, including this one. Oh, that's a bit wide there for Pavicevic, but he does manage to maintain his momentum side by side coming down into farm, and he's going to have the inside line there. Yeah, I think Mark's going to have to let that one go. Oh, me of little faith. No, hold my sandwich, he says. I'm pinning my foot on still side by side. You can see at the top of the shot there as we now jump to Ivanovic, that's been hustling Andrew Richardson all race long. Stu Neal just behind them. And Mark Pimlott's actually got back ahead of Pavicevic, amazingly.
They're still going.
They're still going. They're still side by side. That's amazing. But Mark has had to concede. Wow, that move took a very long time to complete. But,
my question is how long before Mark has another go?
Another go. I don't think it'll be very long.
Commitment corner, both fairly committed. You can see a dab of the brakes, trail brake through there. Heavy, as you can see, Andrew Richardson throwing up smoke in the background. Mark Pimlott now right on the back of Pavicevic. You can see that giving him no breathing room at all.
Nope, and long may it continue. With over 3/4 of the way through the race now, we can't even see Max Mars. He's just disappeared.
He's done the Max Mars thing.
Yeah, he's done his usual and just vanished off up the road into Cascades again. And Pavicevic has compromised his line. That's going to leave him a bit open. Or is it? He's managed to actually maintain his momentum amazingly. It was Pimlott that I thought Pimlott's line looked all right, but he's actually been slightly slower on the bottom part of Cascades, now into the jump. And the cars don't land very happily. It's just the way that the road undulates. They kind of hit an upward rise, which it makes them bounce a little bit. So it's a very uncomfortable landing.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't help that these aren't designed to fly, but
also
that. I mean, it's not a lightweight sports car. It's not designed. These things are quite heavy in comparison to some other, touring car touring car support packages. These things were quite heavy. So it makes it especially harder to roll them and actually cause damage almost. These things can take a hit and keep going. I mean, that's been evident tonight. But you can see that all of a sudden Pavicevic now has the opportunity to pressure Aaron Large. I believe it was those two that were fighting for the win earlier in the race. In the first race of tonight. Yeah, so it's now return favour. Pavicevic gets to hassle Aaron Large.
And side by side. Wow, Aaron must have had a pretty bad run coming through hillside, and that's brave from Pavicevic to do an outside manoeuvre there, coming onto the bridge now into farm, and he's big lock up there. He's going to defend that inside line. Aaron's got no answer, and is Mark Pimlott going to try and attack? Not quite. As there in the background, very smoky Ivanovic has gotten past Richardson. We've lost Adrovic, which I've only just realised actually. We lost our practice leader. Yeah, we have seen numerous incidents in this race, in fairness, so he must have been caught up in one of them. But sadly, Adrovic did not see the checker flag in race number 2, as Fisher and Banicevic are arguing over, now wooden spoon avoidance. I think the number 1 he's had an incident on the run, so I didn't quite see where he was. There's Sebring Stoll with Chris Fisher for company already. That's coming into hillside, so it's the beginning of the lap for them. That is Tukovic on the back of Stu Neal for 7. That's commitment corner. We've just gone through there. In the background is Tom O'Farrell up into 9th place from a terrible start. Oh, Stu Neal doing some wall running there. That's not going to help. Oh, no, Tuskovic. Oh, you brave boy.
He's made it stick. I mean, that is very, 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 very brave, because that is not a place that I would overtake.
No, I would have absolutely bottled that if I'd tried to make that move. There's Morlem in the bright pink number 3. He's screaming off after... Who's he chasing?
He is chasing Steve Hilton.
Ah, Steve Hilton indeed. There's Steven Stoll. Still with Chris Fisher. Chris has gone past him.
Oh, Aaron. In fact, what's happened to Pavicevic?
Oh no, it's Pavicevic has had a problem. He's off. Oh no.
That's Mark. No. Oh, Mark.
Oh no.
You're on the line.
Oh,
no.
no.
Oh no.
Oh,
Did I foul get through?
Neil. No,
Neil got
didn't.
Neil.
Oh
Neil
no,
lost,
he's just.
a foul just about makes it through. Where's Stu Neil? Is he back going again? He is, but he will not be happy about that. I can tell you for a fact.
No, I've seen that very incident happen before with. You know, I remember a driver joined us for this round, like baptism by fire, and sadly he had an incident at that very same point. I can't remember who it was now, and sadly the result was the same. A lot of people got really badly caught out. You might remember.
I do, and I think it's not really. There's not really much you can do there.
No,
you can't. There's no gravel trap. There's no runoff. There's a lake or a brick wall. So I don't really think you could really blame Pinlock for being there. It's just unfortunate that Stu Neal's seen it too late, not been able to back out of his line and had to throw it to one side to avoid causing more damage or potentially a bigger incident.
Indeed, as the checker flag will now be prepped, ready for Max Mars to come around. He's done it again. He's worked his way to the front and been untouchable. Race 1 may not have gone his way, but he is making sure that race number 2 does indeed go to Germany as he on the upward rise, and then over the crest into commitment corner. Nothing to worry about. You can't even see Aaron Large in that camera shot, so he can let off the gas. Not that he will, of course.
Oh no, absolutely not.
He'll keep pressing on and putting on an amazing show. Hopefully he doesn't bin it somewhere because he's still pushing, but he'll carry on nonetheless into the town centre chicane.
It's always scarier. It always looks scarier than it is, especially with those curbs.
Yeah, and Tom O'Farrell now up into 7th, following Mark's. What a shame for Mark. I mean, leading the way for a while. Was up in a very strong position, and sadly one mistake has plummeted him down the field. But as we said before, that is racing. As Max Mars comes over the bridge, heading towards the jump, as that's Richardson and that is I can't quite see which Ovich that is that Richardson's having an argument with. Oh, Max Marsack got a little bit uncomfortable for you, but he's managed to keep that one out of the wall as he's going to head to claim the win.
Yeah, again, a brilliant drive from him.
Yeah. So there it is then. Nothing to stop the championship leader claiming another one. Your winner for race number 2 is the number 58. And flash to the lights as well. Max Mars might not have the perfect winning streak, but it's another win nonetheless. Aaron Large, take a bow, sir. Another podium to you, and very well deserved. Pavicevic is going to round out the podium positions. Richardson 4, Ivanovic 5, Tom O'Farrell up into 6.
What's wrong with Toskovic? It's happened again. It's happened again. No. Oh no.
It's like he's run out of fuel.
I think he has. There's no engine noise. He has run out of fuel. This time he's run out of fuel.
Push, man.
He's made it. But my God, does he?
Oh.
I think fuel.
Yeah, another litre, man. It's not going to kill you.
Well, it killed the car, but.
Yeah, absolutely. There's Chris Fisher. Oh, what might have been for him. The Fisher Motorsport number 87 not happy. And Toby Owen yet again falling foul, being bitten by Bannochbrae. There's Tom Bunton. So the grid finder pair finished together again, but this time Toby ahead of Tom. There's Chris Fisher bringing his wounded guy over the line. Cheapin Stoll is going to be next over the line. And then it is Banicevic in the number 1, Capital One car. Going to round out the field there. He is just coming through. Final turn, but wowee, what a race.
What a race indeed. I mean, that was incredible from every driver. You know, they kept it. I mean, again, it wasn't the worst in terms of incidents. You know, we've definitely seen worse in the past.
Yeah,
And I think
we've
a lot
seen
of them
worse
were.
here as well.
I mean, we've seen much worse here. Uh, I can attest from experience. But yeah, it's been overall a great experience to watch and be a part of. As my Assetto Corsa decides to crash right at the end, so we'll take that. That's fine.
I mean, at least it did it now. At least it
Yeah,
did it.
at least it decided to do it right at the end, which is, you know, it's always generous of it. So yeah, it was great to see all these drivers and, you know, all the great opportunities that we had today. And, you know, hopefully we'll see a few of these drivers in the interview box in a second so we can have a quick chat with them.
Indeed. We'll give our drivers a chance to come and have a chat. They don't have to. It's not mandatory, but it is always nice to hear from our gladiators to see how they're feeling, how they were feeling when they came into it, and how they're feeling now. And there is one right on cue. It's the man with the banana split BMW. It is Aaron Large.
Good evening, Chris.
It's been a while, but what a night of racing you've had, sir.
Yeah, I sort of like this track now.
I do recall you weren't so much a fan of it in the past.
No, it's brutal, but it's I've learned, like, there's a few corners I'm not actually fast on, and I can tell that when people are catching me up, but like, it's just the chances. I think that the headset's helping me over that jump. I can cut that so fine.
Nicely done. I mean, wow, your pace tonight was absolutely superb.
Yeah.
Again, was this a race you were just not wanting to? You just wanted it to be over and done with, from how you felt about it before?
Yeah, I'll be brutally honest. Like, in the practice, I really struggled because I seen people getting like 140s, and I thought, how the hell is this possible? But then it is just, you just have to take those chances and just hope for the best. But yeah,
you got into the 39s, I think, didn't you?
Did I? Oh Christ!
I think we did.
Yeah, you got one. I think it was 39. I want to say 39.975 or something.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah. I mean, every right to be. So, what a great race. So it's Donington next. What are your thoughts heading towards good old Donny?
I think I've used all my luck, but we'll see what happens.
I'm sure you haven't. We look forward to a lights to flag victory next time out.
Oh yeah, no, it's been amazing. Good racing. There's a few very, very dicey manoeuvres in that one. Sort of parting the seas between two cars. I don't know whether that come across on stream, but that was amazing. Yeah, that was a very. I just took a brave pill and just went for it. But yeah, that's one of my highlights of this evening, I think.
Yeah, take a bow. That one was a stunning move. You can enjoy watching that one back later. We wish you the best of luck for the remaining rounds. Thank you very much, Aaron Large.
Brilliant. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Adam.
You are very welcome, good sir. Let's have a chat with our championship leader. It is, of course, Max Maas.
Evening.
Guten Abend, Herr Maas.
Oh, no, we're talking in German today.
Well, that's all I know, that and one other phrase. That's about it. So, well, I mean, so finally your winning streak has been broken, but even still, that race 2 was an absolutely superb show.
Oh yeah, I was shocked when I got on the server and the guys were doing 40s and 39s. I didn't expect it to be this low. Like, I did a few runs beforehand and was in the 42s, maybe 41s. So I was expecting that to be close-ish to the top pace, but was way off. So to even start kind of near the front guys in the first race was already good for me. And then just tried to catch up with them and see where they get the time. But yeah, I made a few mistakes. So I got past Tom first, then I binned it, then he got back, and in the end, I almost got him back, but always another time for that. But yeah, the first race was a bit of a learning experience, but also still great fun. And the second one worked better then, but was extremely stressful. Aaron always in the back, or I have no idea who of the what are they, Macedonian guys, Ivan, etc. we're also always close to catching up. So I'm extremely spent. I'm extremely sweaty, and I'm looking forward to a shower, to be honest.
I don't blame you. Having myself and Adam have both raced at Bannochbrae in the past, and we know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think we raced Aaron here. I don't know if he's still here. I think we have raced him here in the past.
Oh, we have indeed. I nearly,
Yeah, I'm here.
I nearly blatted Aaron once as I caught him after Cascades onto the second bridge, and I just screamed "on your left" because I didn't have time to shout his name. So, I still remember that. But
Yeah, plenty of collisions happen on this track.
oh yeah, they do. So it's Donington next, Max. Is that a track that works well for you?
Is it Donington? I'm not sure what is
I
Donington.
believe. Hang on, I'll quickly pop up the calendar.
Uh,
It is Donington National on
Ah,
the
sweet.
27th of March.
Oh, and Thruxton after that, right? Yeah, not Donington.
No, Snetterton
Snetterton.
200.
Damn, Snetterton.
Don't worry,
Okay.
we had the same issue. We had the same issue.
Okay.
I
earlier
thought
on.
it was bad. So we'll just
Donington
name
is-
every British track, and we'll pick one. That's fine.
Okay. No.
Alton Park.
Donington is fine. I haven't raced it with front-wheel driven cars yet, but
Oh, it's
looking
good
forward
fun.
to it.
I'll tell you that much. It's good fun.
But I'm not looking forward to the last round, so I'll have to make the most out of the next one because Snetterton, I can't get to grips with the track.
Oh, a possible chance then being given to the competitors for the
Losing.
final round.
Nah, even next time. If they train a bit more, maybe, or if they're as fast at this week, then it's going to be extremely close once again, and I'm looking forward to it. It was great fun.
Yes, as are we. And tonight was great. Every race has been great so far. We very much look forward to the rest. Best of luck for the remainder of the season. Tolles Rennen, Herr Maas, guten Abend. Well, guten Abend, I already said that. Guten Nacht and auf Wiedersehen. And that's going to bring an end to in case anyone
before we do, I think Mr. Owen is waiting.
Oh,
to come
Toby
down.
Owen has appeared. Yes, I said
Poor
good
Toby.
race. I said good race and good night in German. In case anyone, I tried to. Hopefully, that's actually what I did say. Let's drag in the event organizer himself. Let us have a chat to Toby Owen.
Good evening.
It's bitten you again, hasn't it?
I think I got away fairly lightly, actually. I think the first.
Considering how badly it went for some people, then yes, I suppose so. But I mean, you got bitten quite hard in race one by the look of it.
Yeah, race one was unlucky. Someone pinged across a bridge right in front of me, so I had no chance to predict that one, unfortunately, and that dropped me back. The second race, I did a bit better in avoiding the carnage, but then I had an incident all of my own when I missed the braking point at the top of the bridge. So yeah, swings and roundabouts. But I think 13th in both races shows that I was pretty much where I should have been. And thank goodness I'm better at real world racing than I am at sim races.
Now, did you and your teammate collide in race number 2 on the first bridge at that right hand? Because that's what it looked like to us.
That was when I missed my braking point. So that was entirely on me, unfortunately. Yeah, I think he tried to sneak through whilst I was floundering on the grass and got caught up, which was a.
So,
but then
yeah.
I did get him back later in the race where he went off and I went through. So
there we go.
Even itself out.
And I must say the grid finder and livery car does look good with the Ford KA you're going to be jostling with this year. Looks spectacular. One assumes you're rather looking forward to piloting that beast.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it's not often that someone who finishes 13th comes into the comms box for an interview post race, but I thought it's a great opportunity to talk about this transition that we are making from sim racing into real world racing. Obviously, I've been doing the club scene for a while, but my teammate Tom Bunton is a sim racer through and through, founder of Grid Finder. He is joining me and a couple of other drivers this year in the Enduro Car Series, where we're running a Grid Finder livery car. And the other teammate that we've got is none other than sim racing royalty Chris Hay, who is obviously a very prominent YouTuber in the sim racing space. He is documenting our journey from sim rig to race car. He's got an episode out on his YouTube channel at the moment, actually, which is very kind of well produced, very high production quality. And I do recommend you check that out. Anyone who's interested in going from sim racing into real world motorsport, please do have a look at what Chris is putting together.
Let's just hope he's leaving out your interesting highlights that we caught on the stream.
Oh yes, yeah, he's thankfully not covering the Clio Championship.
I think I speak for everybody when we wish you a huge amount of luck for the Enduro K series and also the remainder of the Clio Cup. We very, very much look forward to seeing the progression of both cars as they hit various tracks. Are you, speaking of the Clio Cup, are you looking forward to Donington next time out?
I am. As much as I love Bannochbrae as a driving experience, it's very difficult to actually race there. So I'm really looking forward to getting back onto a proper racetrack and going wheel to wheel with a few people.
Fair play. Thank you very much for your time, good sir. And like I said, very best of luck for the Ford KA for the remainder of this series. Thank you very much, Toby Owen.
Cheers, guys.
That is going to be it for tonight. Thank you very much to those that have been with us throughout the stream and those of you catching up post-event. Always a great pleasure to have you on board. Thank you very much, Adam Bent, for keeping me on the straight and narrow. It's always a difficult job, and you weather it well.
Thank you very much, Chris. Pleasure as always.
Thank you very much to our drivers for yet again putting on such an amazing show. It's been a lot of fun screaming about their on-track antics. Next time out, as said, it is Donington Park. 2 weeks' time. Do not go anywhere. There is plenty of racing in between then and now here at Simsport Racing International and also for Grid Finder. Until then, thank you very much and good night.